try to go after with it, right? So, these guys that are so apologetic had to look at the situation. It's like, well, you mean we didn't create this life that we're so ashamed of? No. I mean, you could take responsibility for it and say, I did it, but that would be a lie. You didn't do it. It was already pre-scripted what you were going to have, what situation you were going to see yourself in. There is nothing dynamic here. There really, one could make an argument there's not much in the way of free will if you put up destiny. It's just two different perspectives. From a subjective perspective, i.e. your ego mind state, which is basically Plato's cave, right, where you're blind. You figure it's your fault. Everything's your fault. But in the big scheme of things, when the Zeph report uncovers real reality, like in this dream, the Zeph report was like, yeah, but they cut it off, by the way. They wouldn't let the whole world have it. It got censored. But you can see by these blocks of text different colors, like different colors of orange. Deeper or higher, and the deeper ones meant more people had gotten the truth out of there. But they're like containers, like big shipping containers from China. You know, with a Zeph report on the side, you know, like something that had some, you know, some depth and some, you know, had a cubic weight, you know, whatever. Anyway, so the reality, you know, it was like, yeah, you got to realize, you know, we don't run this. Well, who is it, God? You know, I'm not sure how the mechanism is, but we don't run this. Understood by Christians in general. Well, why wouldn't I pray to? Well, you know, you're not praying to. Why would you waste your time not praying to God? Right. So you got to make sure what you're doing. Anyway, this situation, these people were, how should I put it, they were, I don't know, really, they're just kind of shocked because the creatures that were sort of running things were like these, again, I have to say, they're like these ant heads, you know, like you know, creatures that sometimes are described both in Ezekiel's wheels or they're on the throne of God, you know what I mean, these like creatures running things. And some were these ant heads, which, you know, would be associated with the, you know, late 70s, you know, this 1970s version of aliens, which would be, you know, spindly hybrids, right? They're robots with big black eyes, which are basically plastic covering some of the eyes, which are hybrids. They're made in the laboratory. But some aren't. There's some that are more, you know, I don't know. There's all kinds of chimeras, you know, insect human, ant heads, you know, spindly alien, you know, praying mantis types. These are just like cloning people with locusts, you know. And so there's a lot of that going on. So how can you ever get to the truth with all that messy deception going on by stupid human? Dumb human, Harari human. I think the name Harari should be synonymous with stupid. Dumb sapien. Dumb sapien. Clown sapien. No, I mean, if you ever read the book, you'll see that, you know, besides seeming like he's talking down to the reader, it's very embarrassing if you're a reader that actually takes that seriously. That means you have a serious lack of personhood. You don't have a person. You don't have a heart beating. And don't put that on me. You don't have a heart beating in there because you're, you know, if you're a person, when someone writes something and it's like it's not communicating with you but speaking down to you, then the proper response is to set it aside. If, on the other hand, you continue to read because of the social pressure around you, and even give that book a good review, you, sir, are a whore. You're doing it to boost your social image. You're embracing something popular in the hopes that someone will rub off on you. So be honest. That's all, man. No, not today. Maybe not ever. You take your chances. You know. You shut your eyes and go bye-bye, but where do you go? Where are you going to go when you die? I don't like to say the word heaven anymore because I'm talking about a multi-dimensional, developing multiverses around this world of beginning and end, which doesn't exist. There's no such thing as beginning and end. Put the weight back on. I'm sorry. Where all of that's completely... None of that is going on. None of it. Up, down, sorry, none of it. None of it's real. Trish, Max is now crawling on top of the sofa trying to get... He's trying to, like, engage me in some kind of, He's being relentless. Folks, I may not be able to do this anymore. I mean, Ben's may just forbid me. But anyway, it's much more complex than the way I'm explaining it, because I'm almost explaining it like this sort of, kind of like in sort of black and white terms. There's a lot more subtlety to it. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, all right. I don't know who they are. It's not, you say, well, doesn't God run it? Well, it's almost like God has the plan, but then there's different levels. Like there are the beings that institute the plan. You know what I mean? There's just different levels of hierarchy. It's not really a hierarchy. It's just different functions, I guess. Upanishads, the Mahabharata. I actually went through that insufferable play. The Mahabharata was 2 days of putting the play on the Mahabharata. Probably one of the most boring things that anyone ever did. And I was like riveted. I did not get into it. I enjoyed the Bhagavad Gita in LA, the live exhibit they have. And I pursued Ramakrishna and the Vedanta Society and Christopher Isherwood and the Upanishads and trying to, find peace, really. The Paramahansa Yogananda, the Self-Realization Fellowship, Siddha Yoga, Muktananda, his daughter and son, they ran it, I didn't go with the Rajneesh thing, I went rather with the yogis and going that way in hopes to find some kind of peace. Very upset when I had a moment to think. It just went on and on and on. There would be, most people would be aligned with God then. You wouldn't align with the opposite because the opposite isn't true. Come on. Why would someone align with the opposite of reality, which isn't true, and yields no fruit? Zero. 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 Nothing. Nada. Why would you align with that? You're stupid. Well, that may be part of it, but I mean, why would you align with it? No, I agree with you. There's many stupid people upon the earth. I mean, it's just legendary how stupid people are. Okay, but why would you align with the opposite of reality? Why would you do that if there is no fruit and no benefit for you? Why? Why would anyone do that? Because the myth here on the ground is you do get something for that. They'll pay you for that. They'll give you, yes, supposedly if you do enough for Satan, he'll make your dreams come true. That's why they do that, because they want to be applauded by their fellow man. That's why they do it. They want to be stars. They want to be worshipped. They want to be applauded. They want to be liked. They want to be loved. They want to have, 1,000,007, followers on their Instagram. They want all that. Because the only reality they know, which is false, which doesn't exist, is them as icons. As the world has a bunch of icons and a bunch of followers. So they get in line to try to be one themselves. And then they'll splinter off into prostitution or God knows what else. To make up for how bad everything was. Mom would finally love me. Now you're talking. Come on. But I would finally be somebody, not just such a wretch, a horrible person that people would like me, finally. They wouldn't be mean to me and trick me and lie to me. And they'd respect me for once. As you climbed up through the agreed upon reality and the hoops and the social structures they threw in front of you to finally stand on your mountain and achieve and demand they worship you. Just like Satan. Exactly like Satan. That's very good. Are you sure you're not a Satanist? A what? What's a Satanist? Someone that worships the dust. Someone that is themselves nothing, but has a need to be worshipped as something. But if you ask anyone who's worshiping, who are you worshiping? They'll say, I'm worshiping myself in the future in the form of somebody else, because that's what I want. So all this pain that gets... So every celebrity then, who clawed their way up, because I don't care. Because I'm not intimidated. Because I don't care. Because I know that there is no reality there. Because I know it's all false. Because I know the whole thing is 100% scripted. It's not just a simulation, but it's a... Well, part of it's a test. An IQ test, I suppose. To figure out, do you know what this is? And I would say, yes, I know what it is. Do you think that people ever, if people ever figured out what it is, then you would have massive fidelity with God? Childhood, so they make sure all children have trauma, right? So this is all mind control. This is all U.S. military type of psyops, mind control. All this stuff is coming out of laboratories, think tanks. Rockefeller Foundation, social engineering, guys like Gates involved in, Schwab, all those guys, completely involved in making the human race into subservient robots, because they figure, why shouldn't they be robots? They already are. They already want the dirt, they want the dust, they want the nothing, they want the zero. So let's give it to them. God says, okay, if that's what they want, if that's their heart, have at it. And so now here we are. And they'll go all the way. I mean, they'll go to push the nuclear button. Next Wednesday at 12:30, boom. We're all dead. Don't hold me that day. I'm just, it's playing around there. I'm not saying that's what will happen. I'm just saying, That's how close it is. I'm under no illusions I could be driving on the highway and vaporized in any second. I am absolutely understanding that because I already knew Biden's plan. I knew Hillary's plan. I already knew the plan of the global. I already know the plan. The plan was always to depopulate through nukes, and then after that, COVID emergencies, lockdowns, climate, everything they do. Climate is alive. COVID is alive. Jabs are alive. Economy is alive. The U.S. government, depending on that, America is alive. Doesn't mean I don't love America. It just means it's a lie. I don't have to look at it every day and have my heart broken and go, oh, I love America. A lot of the people that fought against the Brits had to fight their own American cohorts. Which I could have overcome things if I just didn't have this, is the guilt and the shame and the feeling of unworthiness. Had those things not been there, man, there's a lot of things I could have done to overcome a lot of the traumas, a lot of the problems that people threw at me. I could have overcome them with a little bit of self-esteem, just a tiny bit. But they weren't giving it. And I made the mistake of thinking you had to get it from your fellow man. Well, your fellow man is one big middle finger to everybody. That's what he is. He walks around one big perverted middle finger to everyone. That's man. How did he get that way? Because people abused him and they told him lies. They made him, they threw him in a certain way, so he thinks that if he doesn't fight every day to keep what he's got, someone's going to take it away from him. So he became a middle finger. You can't blame him. Of course that makes sense. Sure, own it, world. This is us. This could have been a contender. This is us. This is us. Because we must subjugate our fellow man. And we must appear to be superior to our fellow man. To establish a hierarchy or system where people take their place in their various, like you'll be a labor over there and people spit on you, and you'll be an executive over here, and lots of girlfriends. You'll be a... Oh, but no worries, the sex will be horrible because you don't like girls. Oh, God, I don't want to go there. I don't want to become cynical because there's no reason for it. There's no reason for me to become cynical.
Cynical.
By looking at the... Cynical? Cynical is a human being who has looked at the base in a worshipful, Masonic blend of occultism, Freemasonry, secret societies, fraternities, hazing, law enforcement, dichotomies, contradictions, and finally come to the conclusion that he knows what reality is. There are certain universal laws that if you follow those laws, you'll be successful. And that's what we're looking here at the, Scottish Rites. We are looking for individuals who want to better themselves and want to better their communities. Okay. So, that's the real reason that they create this sub-reality that isn't real. To provide a hierarchy so the people that are very obedient to nothing will be at the top, dictating down to you how you're going to be affected and what you're going to do and how much money you're going to pay them. We get shaken down by the IRS and have to pay money. It's not a tax. It's protection. You know, when he and Microsoft presented Marina Abramovich, he got run right out of town, and I was involved in that one. And he never came back with her. Oh, she went on, she was this gazing. She was trying to get people on that broadcast to gaze into her eyes, which I can tell you that yeah, I don't even have to explain that to you, do I? Okay, good. Right? Gates is, you know, he's a feeble-minded earth dweller, but he's very powerful, and he's got muscle, man, and he's got the armies of the world under his beck and call. If he wants a nuclear war, he can just push the button himself. So, you know, and his view of, is sort of a, you know, a Nazi view of humanity, which, you know, through medicine, we can control the population, which is eugenics and genocide, and right out of the Joseph Mengele playbook, you know. But that aside, he doesn't matter. Schwab doesn't matter. Harari doesn't matter. So the UN doesn't matter. The WHO doesn't matter. All these people with their shouting laws and hysteria, these other beings that are somewhere else, I don't know exactly what they are, what they're like. I have some imaginings or some premonitions or something. But what's coming down to us, this thing, is basically two-sided. On one, you know, right, it's good and evil, it's light and dark, it's all those things, but it's one-sided. God is one thing. God is not being blocked, except by them, the earth dwellers, the feeble-minded earth dwellers. The feeble-minded earth dwellers. The feeble-minded earth dwellers. The earth dwellers, they dwell on the earth. They don't know the sky. They don't know the celestial. They don't know the cosmos. They're just feeble-minded earth dwellers. They want to rule the earth. Yes, but the situation we find ourselves in, being that it's finite, could not possibly be real, since finite doesn't really exist. Therefore, all people should worship God. Yeah, I've noticed with the increase in you know, the push toward, well, you know, the head of Starbucks, he gets out there and goes, if you're for traditional marriage, don't take our coffee. All right? Oh, you want me to feel guilty? You know, I never liked Seattle. Okay? I went into the first Starbucks that ever was. I think it was in Seattle. I don't mind Seattle, but it's just, the water's cold and there's lots of ships and it's, you know, there's got this certain vibe to it that just reeks of poverty. But anyway, well, not poverty, reeks of I guess, political correctness. Something to that effect. Can you imagine what the town would be like if it was free? Oh boy. Wouldn't even be on Earth anymore. But anyway, so the bottom line is, this whole thing's been a digression. I apologize. I've been off on a tangent. How's this going to help you? Well, it's like this. I'm feeling feisty today. Holy moly. I wish I could smash down all this stuff. Anyway, these containers, which had like red and orange markers of how high the water went inside of them or something. You became aware that everything was run by this distant thing. Here's another thing. My consciousness is not running it. Your consciousness is not running it. Our collective, quantum consciousness is not running it. That's why. Because a lot of times when you align with people, things change. But not all the time. Right. Not all the time. Yeah. It's just enough so you might believe and might have some faith, but not enough so you convert. So you're kind of stuck in the middle. I am the light of the world. And the darkness does not comprehend the light. So that's the setup. Right? So when I saw through it all, and these containers and stuff, and these ant people, I guess it's part of the Ezekiel Wheels thing or whatever, or angelic, people or whatever it is. It was ancient, developed a long time ago, and it produces men filled with guilt and shame, and women filled with pride and vanity. Son or your daughter, because they had visions of the truth. Can you imagine what an asshole you would be? What you would have to atone for in your life? If you imposed your will on others, that was unwise and inaccurate, and then you ruin those lives. Can you imagine what you'll be like looking in the mirror at yourself? Anyway, so the bottom line is people figured out that they're being messed with and that none of it's real. And so, so the only thing, the only default possible is to jump beyond the controllers, who are not human, I contend that, to God and take the deal. As Brother Patrick said, you're never going to get a better deal than Jesus. But man, every cultural, the whole gay revolution, the LGBTQ consciousness everywhere, plus combined with, critical race theory, woke, but the whole, communist movement, I suppose. How are you with that? They don't push the LGBTQ P. Really, it's just P. It's not LGBT, it's P. They don't push P in, or any of it in China. Not allowed. They don't want men to be feminized. No, I don't want to be feminized. I'm just looking at it and saying, how are you doing with it? How are you coping with it? You can't really get a job. You can't really do anything. Right? Sam Bankman-Fried is the way companies are going to be in the future. 10 people live in a pod, and they take amphetamines and fuck all day, and then they have this financial thing going. Oh, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that I can do. How many people do you know? Seriously, they could look at all this stuff without flipping out. I don't know that many. I mean, a few people have been through trauma, yes. But most people couldn't handle. If you